Paladins. I used to play Paladins when I was 12 years old. Up until I was around 19, I stopped playing Paladins. And this game was one of the most fun games I have ever played in my entire career of like gaming and stuff. But what does this have to do with Marvel Rivals? I feel like there's a lot we can learn from this game in particular that we could probably put into Marvel Rivals. I would like to see these changes come to Marvel Rivals, but maybe in a game mode at first or little tweaks here and there, because you never know, because the games are, radically different from each other. But there's a lot that we could learn from Paladins. One thing I would love to see, and the first thing I would love to see that comes from Paladins to Marvel Rivals, is honestly a system where you could have damage reduction or more damage. This system was always super unique to Paladins and only has been recently added to Overwatch. I feel like having something like this would be awesome. Obviously, they would have to get tweaked and stuff on the individual characters, and I feel like there should be a custom game mode just like Stadium. I don't feel like they should add this to the main game mode, but like kind of like a side game mode. That'd be great just for fun, because sometimes I'll be honest, I'll get bored and I'll be like, oh wow, I wish I could slightly customize my character or reduce the cooldowns, I feel like they should do this, but only for a game mode, not for ranked, right? Because I think it's going to be way too hard to balance, but it'd just be fun for another game mode. The second thing I would like to be added to the actual base game this time is Cauterize. If you guys aren't aware what Cauterize is basically anti-healing effect. It's not a permanent anti-healing effect, not like Doctor Strange where you can't heal at all, but it's an anti-healing effect on on the game, you start with 25% reduced healing if every shot you hit on somebody for 1.5 seconds, and it can go up to 90%. I think the balances on these should be tweaked significantly. I don't think it should be anywhere near 90, potentially only 30 or 25. That's the maximum you can get. And you should be, you should buy the item. You shouldn't just, slowly build it up like in Paladins. I feel like having this change would be able to kill through some annoying support ults while them being super strong still. Because when have you been super close to killing Luna in her support ult and then she just keeps healing up and keeps healing up and healing up? If they manage to put this into the game mode, right, maybe even like 10% to start with, this would radically change, who's good and who's not good. And also this would finally get rid of the really top supports and give other supports time to shine. Because the amount of times I queue up and there's a Mantis or we have an Adam Warlock and someone says instantly GG swap off, like it is pretty frustrating to deal with those people as well. But allowing other characters to shine would be awesome instead of just having Invisible Woman, Luna Snow. And I'm not talking shit about the developer team. I am very content and very happy on how the developer team is balancing across the board. They are doing a spinful and an amazing job. They immediately get on balance changes. It is awesome what the developer team has done. These are just suggestions I would give. The next thing I want to discuss is bans. So every time I stream Marvel Rivals, I usually get a ban within the first hour or two. We get like 2 or 3 bans when we are streaming. And it's just due to the fact that people just don't shut the fuck up. Like legitimately just be quiet. But these people, right, don't really get banned for that long. I don't know how long it is and I'm unaware of it. But I remember there was this one guy restricted from competitive matches and he was only gone for like a few days, like 1 or 3 days. And then he came back and he started acting like the same arrogant asshole. I feel like we need to make the bans more severe, because if you're constantly like talking smack, constantly just being annoying, throwing games, you should get punished for it. Obviously there's a crazy idea of mine is this. If you get banned on a repeated basis, right, your skins get revoted. You're unable to use your skins for a brief time, a period, or they should use public humiliation. For an example, if you get banned a lot of times, there's going to be an icon next to your name, right, saying loser or something. And I know this might be a little mean, but this would be pretty funny though, because people could actually see how many times you've been banned if they look and they see your name and there's like a little number to it, or some sort of indicator, right, or some sort of shame meter, like, oh, this guy's a bitch or whatever, right? Obviously obviously not those words from word to word, but I think this would just be funny for them just to put that so they feel a little bit ashamed. A lot of people would have noticed in this game say, oh, well, I don't really care if I'm throwing because this is my second account. And they'll say stuff like that. And we know in reality that's not true. Some guy called out. There's some guy who got called out for in my stream who had 400 hours on this quote unquote, second account. Like, I don't care and stuff. Like, bro, if these people started doing that, these Marvel Rivals, developers started doing that, I honestly think the issue would start slowing down because people wouldn't want to lose their skins temporarily or just have like a meter of shame, right? You know what I mean? Or just make their character gray. Like their character is just grayed out, you know what I mean? Or like they have just something, or like their game is like at low graphics constantly. I feel like if they just add this, right, it's just be a funny way to be like, oh, haha, right, I don't know. What do you guys think about it? And what I'm about to say might be controversial, but I really, really want to add it to the game. And yeah, it might be OP, but again, if you add items, this will kind of resolve the issue. It's this. So as we all know, Widowmaker cannot headshot. She cannot one shot, right? The max one shot she does is 240 to the head. And the reason they did this is for balance wise, of course, because if you have a sniper, particularly in this game, it's going to be disastrous. It's not like a sniper like Widowmaker in Overwatch where you have to be extremely precise. This game, I would say, is a lot easier to hit your shots, especially your headshots as well. It's a lot easier. But what I think they should do is give her one-shot potential. Obviously, before you start freaking out on everything, remember, only be able to one-shot 250 HP heroes. Obviously, the majority of the cast is 250, and I used to think it was 275. But apparently it's 250, and I feel like she should be able to at least one-shot 250 targets. But it takes her like a longer time to charge up. And then the next thing is that she's extremely slow when she's charging up her shot, and she can't turn that quickly. I feel like adding these changes, right, would make the one shot more balanced. Also, I really want to see a sniper to get one, being able to one shot, because there's been so many times I've been playing Adam Warlock in this game and a sniper's hit me like 3 times in the head and I just don't die and I'm in a bad position. Or they could have the one shot and just make sure that there's fall off. So if you're further than like 30 meters, you can no longer one shot. Adding, like, slowly trying to implement it like this, I feel like would be better. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I would love to see that. I honestly would. I would play Sniper way, 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 way more, because right now she's okay. She isn't horrible. She can be super annoying, but the majority of Widows that I go against just are not that good. Widow inherently by default is a hard character just because they're a sniper. But yeah, this is my short list. What do you guys want to see added? Anything in particular? If you guys liked the video, make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe. As always, I will catch you guys very, very soon. If you disagree, agree with me, what do you guys think? Tell me. But yeah, with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and or subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. Take care.